Hi, everybody. Coach Allison back with week 37, Defy Aging. Okay, we have another circuit this week. We are at 8 exercises. This time we're going to run through it for 3 rounds. Each round is timed differently. They're kind of all over the place. Round 1, let's see. Round 1 is 40 seconds on, 30 seconds off. So you have more work and less rest time while you're fresher, right? Round 2 is 20-20, so that round is going to zip by relatively quickly. And then round 3 is 30 seconds on, 40 seconds off. You get a longer break round 3 when you're a little more tired. Like I said, all over the place with this one this week. Let's run through the 8 exercises. Exercise 1, band back row with a pause. Now I know last week we had a band back row in the routine. We're doing that same exercise, but we're adding a pause to it. So it's going to change the feel just a little bit. Adding a pause creates more what we call time under tension, which is, we'll just say a good thing. We don't have to go through a whole lesson on it. Okay, you have your band tied up to something in front of you, probably one of the racks at the gym. We're going to keep the palms turned inward like this, so we're not doing overhand or underhand. Okay, pull in. Keep your elbows close to the sides of the body, like your elbows are just kind of on a train track going straight back. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Pause it for 2 or 3 seconds. So I'll do a few in a row so you can see the pause in action, which sounds kind of like an oxymoron, but back, squeeze, pause, and release. Right back, squeeze, pause, and release. Okay, now pretend I still have the bands. Here's the form. Engage your legs so we're not standing with locked knees. We're not leaning back, so engage your legs, plant your feet, pull. As I pull back, watch my shoulder. My shoulder is now here. When I pull it back, it's now here. So we do want that shoulder retraction. Squeeze your shoulder blades together right here, and that is the form. You want to hold that shoulder blade squeeze for that 2 to 3 second pause. Exercise 2, Bosu high plank. So this is our Bosu ball. All the gyms have them. You're going to have the blue side down. High plank is when you're on your hands as opposed to your elbows. That's all that means. You're going to put your hands on the sides of the Bosu. Now, some people like to grip at the side, or some people like to put the hands flat. Doesn't matter. It's kind of preference or whatever feels better on your wrists. All right. So hands on the sides, legs out, hips level, so we're not doing a high butt, but we're not sinking low like this. So hips level. I like to put my feet a little wider for stability. Now where this is challenging, extra challenging, is the instability of the Bosu, right? The floor is quite stable. This is not. So one thing we want to make sure is the Bosu is relatively level. So we want to avoid having the hands like maybe back here. So see how the Bosu is not level now? It's tilted backward. We want to try to even that out so the Bosu is staying just as level and flat as the floor. Now this is a lot of wrist, so some people do find it to be less wrist to do the actual like grip on the side of the Bosu, so feel free to try that. You can do this on an incline like this. Take yourself off that Bosu. That's definitely an option. The Bosu is relatively advanced. If any of these options aren't feeling good on your wrist, because it's a lot of excessive like wrist flexion. So some people that is not comfortable on the wrist, feel free to remove the Bosu and go to a standard forearm elbow plank instead. Next exercise, lateral box run. All the gyms have these style boxes. They are different colors, but you all have them. So you start straddling it, 1 foot on each side. We're going to go up, up, down, down, up, up, down, down. Start at a speed that is safe and controlled. And then as you get more comfortable with it, feel free to pick up that speed a little bit. It's really important for this one that you look down at your feet. Because you don't want to start, I've seen it before, you don't want to get too close to the front and then you kind of start traveling forward. Sometimes you do that without feeling like you are. So do keep your eyes down at the box just to make sure you are staying safe. If the step up, it maybe is bothering the knees, not working for you, we're going to turn this into another option is a lateral floor run instead of a lateral box run. Same exact pattern without the box. In, now it's in, out, out instead of up, up, down, down. So that keeps the same pattern, keeps the cardio. It takes out the step up. So again, maybe better for some of our knees. Next up, single arm lat pull down. So for this one, we need the band tied up somewhere really high. So the coaches will have this ready for you. Yeah. You do have to step back quite a ways. Okay, so we want it because we want to be pulling at a slightly downward angle, okay? Pretty much, if the more straight down, the better. So this is the best I could do here. So one arm at a time. So we stand facing where it is anchored, so it's right in front of me. Palm is now facing down. Remember earlier with the row, palm was in. Now palm is facing down, so we have an overhand grip. We're going to pull this down and back, letting the elbow, now we do want the elbow to kind of flare out. I'm bracing my legs, so I have an engaged leg stance. Pull back, and I'm going to show you what's happening in the back. That's because this is the back exercise, right? So your lat is kind of right here. It's called a lat pull down. So I'm pulling down, I'm tucking my elbow back, and I should be feeling a squeeze right in this area here. Pull back, squeeze. Pull back, squeeze. From the side, it'll look like this. See, I have a little arch in my back because I'm popping out my chest to really engage that lat. So palm down, elbow coming out as opposed to in tight, and that is our single arm lat pull down. We'll switch arms halfway through, so it's a really quick switch. You know, your coach will call out halfway and simply switch sides. Next up is bicep curls. Dumbbell on each hand, palms are turned in at the bottom of the movement. As you curl up, rotate those palms so they're facing you, and release. So this is our bicep curl from the side. Want to make sure your upper arm is staying right along your side. What I mean by that is we don't want the upper arm to be swaying like this. We also don't want it to drift back. I see this a lot. I can't even actually do it. See how my elbows are drifting back? So what kind of helps is thinking that you picture you have super glue on your inside your arm here, and your arm is just stuck. The upper arm is just stuck to your side. So no movement in that upper arm. That is our bicep curl station. Next exercise, Palloff press. Band will be tied up to the rack. Now we just need the one side, okay? So you're facing now away, not facing, well, you want the band anchored to your side. So with our row, it was in front of us, now it's to the side. So band is at the side. I'm overlapping my grip on the handle. I'm gonna start the hands right at my chest, not shrugging the shoulders, so we're not up here, just wherever your hands fall with your arms kind of in a natural position, shoulders down. Engage, step out until it feels like there's some tension there. And so it kind of feels like the band wants to pull you in. So but don't let it. Plant your feet, and we're gonna press forward and release it back. Press forward, release it back. So what we're trying to do here, you're gonna feel that whole side engage. It's working those obliques, and it's working chest and shoulders, but it's primarily core. From the front, though, I want to show you one thing. I know I don't have the band with me now, but we want to try to stay level here. It takes a lot of focus because what happens is the band is pulling you one way, right? So your body kind of wants to do this, or maybe overcompensate and do this, or your shoulders might be kind of like this, or your legs might kind of your hips might want to be doing this because, again, you have resistance pulling you from the side. So the goal here is, aside from just the forward and back, is to engage the legs, hips, core. Everything should be like this, should be level and even. It's not going to feel that way, but it's your job to put your body in the right place to be level and even on each side. And therein lies the challenge with the Palloff press. One thing I did forget to say with the Palloff press, we will change sides halfway. So same as with the single arm pull down, halfway through your coach will tell you to switch sides. Next up, medicine ball low slam. We've done these a few times. So it's last week, and then our typical medicine ball slam is our, ball up way high. We're doing a big motion like that. This is different. You're going to come into kind of a hinge position, so almost like the half of a deadlift position. And instead of we're doing a full arm slam, we're doing more of a push or a shove. So see how my hand is positioned like this, and I'm shoving it down. So like this. Notice how I'm having to use a little bit of force with my upper body. I'm having to use my upper body to kind of shove down. So again, make sure you're not coming up like this, like T-Rex arms and slamming, doing a mini slam. Again, it's a shove. So from the front, instead of this, it's this. That's the best way I can explain it. So you're doing a shove. But yes, you are in that like hinged position, kind of staying in sort of a half deadlift here. And that is our low slam. Last exercise, power stand. So you are starting in a chair or on a bench, a seated position. All right, we're gonna stand up already with a nice straight back. We're gonna stand up as fast as we can. We're going for power, momentum, explosiveness on the way up. You can use your arms for a little swing. Up fast, so a power stand. And then down normal. So you don't have to go slow motion or anything, just sitting normally. Up with power, down normal. Up, down, up, down. Excuse me. I want to show you from the side because I want a couple things to keep in mind. Okay. So when you sit back down, we're not lifting the feet and we're not leaning back for momentum like that. That's what we don't want. We don't want that on the back. So sit down, power right back up. Sit down, right back up. See, I'm keeping my back pretty straight up and down, not letting it lean back. So that's the one thing to keep in mind with the power stand. Okay, that is our week 37 Defy Aging. I hope you enjoy it. See you back next week.